Evening, gang. Welcome along. It's Sunday, the 23rd of March, 2025. Welcome along to tonight's United Kingdom talk. Coming to you live from Bracknell in Berkshire. I was just trying to get something ready then for you then, and accidentally hit the camera button. So I'm sorry if I made an early appearance into into the show this evening, gang. I'm not sure that it's going to work now, but I just received this text. I've just got a text here from Vera, who says, "Good afternoon, Chris. I've just watched your church video and I was very impressed." This would be the one from last Sunday when we were doing Our Glorious St. Patrick. She says, "As for the congregation, they couldn't wait to leave." Vera, have you looked carefully at that? In comparison to how many people are there, how many people left? I think we can bring up this little video now. Now, I've been trying to cut the sound off it. But I was doing this at like 3 minutes to 6. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here. So I'll try it and see what happens. Get ready. It may blast really loud. I'm not sure because I haven't been able to set this up. Oh, yeah, I can. Yes, I can. Right, hang on. I can cut the sound by doing... Right. I think I've cut the sound there. I'm pretty sure I've cut the sound there. Now, can I move it along, though? I don't know if I can actually move it along. I'm looking at my stuff now. How do I move that along? Can I move that along? Oh, yes, I can. Right, I can move this along. Right, now watch. Okay, I'll reintroduce the singing bit, although I can't hear it, of course. Right, and you'll see what I mean. They don't all suddenly leave, Vera. Are you looking at the right thing, dear? Right, let's just see if I can bring that sound back on there. Here we go. Okay, now watch. I'm going to have to guess where this happens now. You can see in the top left-hand corner. How far along are we? Can I listen to this? No, I can't listen to this. Here we go. By the way, if you're on TikTok, you can't see these videos. Right, hang on. Here we go. Right, so this is finished. Now, how many people are still there? Are you watching the same thing as everyone else, Vera? Right. So there we go. And then it's finished and people leave. I don't know what you're watching, Vera. I don't know what you're watching, darling. There was, as is always, a few people leaving. Please text in correct things other than blatant lies. Oh, lies, even in Lent. Can't believe it. Anyway, I hope you're well today, gang. Sorry to that was a bit messy there. I didn't have time to do that at the beginning. It's been a pretty dull day here, to be honest. They've been saying it was going to rain. We had no rain at all here. Apparently, last night or yesterday afternoon in London, it was thundering and lightning and pretty bad. We didn't have any of that at all here yesterday, although it doesn't mean there wasn't a disaster. There was a disaster yesterday. What do I do Saturday mornings? What do I do? Any idea? What do I do Saturday mornings? Correct. I go litter picking. And I'd got right up to the top of the road, the furthest I can be from my house, which is about, if you're litter picking, it's about an hour away. Okay, if you're not litter picking, more like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, okay. I'm right at the top of the road, and I'm going like, and suddenly, the claw, the claw would not close on an item. And it was a heavy item. It's one of those delightful looking gas bottles that all the kids seem to sniff round here for some reason. These are big things. I've showed you before. Great big things like that they are. Right? They're almost like mini fire extinguishers, except that they're laughing gas. I think it's Nox. I think it's called Nox. I'd like to be Nox. I think it's called Nox or something like that gas. Anyway, I went to pick one up, and as often happens with this new litter picker, it can't cope and it will drop it out again. It just hasn't got the strength because they're quite heavy, right? So I tried again, and then I was suddenly aware it wasn't closing anymore. My clamp wasn't closing. Does anyone else have that trouble? Anyone else have that trouble with their clamp? Does it ever not close properly? Does anyone else have that trouble at all? The claw would not close. Anyway, so I picked it up. I'm doing that. No, it's not closing anymore. What's happened here? And yet, when I pushed the claw closed, the handle was moving. I thought, what's going on here? Now, this is a new litter picker. I used to have a different one, and it had like a string in it, right? So you got the handle at the top and the claw at the back, and when you pull the handle, the string is pulled, and it does that. Now, sometimes that becomes loose, and it's fairly easy. Okay, all you have to do is pull the bit of string a little bit further through and redo the knot, and once again it's nice and tight. Some people go in for operations in hospitals to have that sort of thing done. I can do it myself. Anything you want tightening, come to me, I'll do it at no cost whatsoever as part of the things that I run here. Anyway. So I'm thinking, well, if I can close it, and then I on further investigation, I looked underneath where the handle is. It's a piece of plastic. There's no string on this one. There's the thinnest piece of plastic, like a little long round thing. It is about that long, not long at all, right? And it snapped. It snapped, and I'm looking. Well, how comes I'm able to close it? Of course, when you pull, the little bit of plastic pulls, right? But when you let it go, it lets go. So, of course, when you do that to it, it pushes it back up on its own. And that's why I was able to do that. And then the handle moves, but not the other way round. So there you go. And this particular litter pick, it was about 12 quid. They're not very dear, these things, right? And it was the more modern version. I thought, oh, that looks quite good. I'll give that one a go. Well, clearly not. Luckily, boys and girls, I have another litter picker, so it hasn't stopped me, but only 2 bags of litter yesterday. I mean, we're awash here with litter in Bracknell. I mean, I can't get home sometimes. I have to ring up the council and they send round a dust cart, and 2 lads with shovels are shoveling the litter back in there, so I can get to my front door. Nearly was late for the show today due to that. It's terrible around here. To be honest, I drive through London at the weekends. There are some dumps in London, I mean, I remember, was it Trump says there are no-go areas in London? And that idiot mayor said, no, there isn't. Yes, there is, mate. Yes, there is. Only because you're living in your little castle in London somewhere. I don't know where the mayor lives. Where does he live? Who? Where does he live? Yes, there are some no-go areas in London that you wouldn't want to go to. And I wouldn't want to go to either. Hackney seems to be a particular favourite of people. Don't go to Hackney. What a dump. What a dump. But there are other places. Mayfair. You go around there, very little litter on the ground, much less than here. And the reason is the council around every 2 hours picking it up, Depends where you live. Anyway, that was my disaster yesterday. And after 2 bags and the gas bottles, I had to pick up manually by hand. I had to bend over, boys and girls, in full view of everyone in this road. I was bending over to pick up these gas bottles, and I put them in my bag, and then I dropped them at one of the road signs, took a picture and sent it to the council. But then I had to stop. Terrible. Just 2 bags. And by the time I'm back here, it's now 11 o'clock. Pointless me going out again, because I would be going up and doing the bit I've already done. I wouldn't have got back up there, and I have to be back here by sort of, at the latest, 12:15 on a Saturday, ready for my afternoon nap before karaoke. So that's what happened there. Thanks for your messages. I'll come to those in a moment, my darlings. Anyone who's watching on TikTok this evening, just a reminder, gang, You're better off go to YouTube, okay? There's a big chat box in YouTube. I can see all the messages there. TikTok, not so, I'm afraid, okay? Because it doesn't work the same. It should be working the same, but for some reason tonight it's not. And although I can send the show out, I can't do a lot much more with it. For example, you can't see any videos or pictures that I'm going to show you. Actually, I don't think I've got any pictures lined up to show you today, so you won't be missing out. If you want to stay there quietly, then that's all well and good as well. All right, my darlings. And the weekend, 2 karaokes at the weekend. Friday was a bit dire. It was just dead. It's really odd. It's really odd how you can have a really busy Friday and then a dead one. Same with Saturday, right? This weekend, the Saturday was much busier than the Friday. But if it's a bit quieter, it does allow me to muck around a lot more, which I do take my job very, very seriously, as you know. But I do like to muck around with people and try and get people to have a little bit of a laugh. And you can do that more when it's quiet. When it's busy, you just got to bring on one as quickly as possible. Next. Last night was a disaster in that I overran by approximately 5 seconds, approximately 10 seconds. Poor Maureen last night. She's probably with us, actually. Do you know what? And that's another thing. I must apologise to anyone last week who sent a text early on in the show, in the first hour and a half of the show, because I completely forgot about the text service. And I'm really sorry, those of you that sent a text. It did get read out, like at 10 to 8. And I know I looked up there and there were loads of them there. So apologies about that. All right, my darlings, very, very apologies about that. But Maureen finished the show last night and we were just over by about 10 seconds. And I hate going over time because you can upset the neighbours and all that. So I'm going to have a look at the text early today. I've got to say Luke in Peterborough. Evening to Luke. Hello to you. You was one of them last week, weren't you? Sorry, Luke. I did read your messages out in the end, but it was like 10 to 8 or something ridiculous like that. So sorry about that. Luke says, evening, Chris. Hope you're okay. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Where did you get the Dalek from? Are they still available? This one, isn't it? I have no idea. This is years old. Actually, there must be some batteries in this because I can see on the bottom battery acid. You see that white stuff there? So there must be still batteries in this. It's an alarm clock. Or it was an alarm clock. Okay? I think it made Dalek noises when the alarm went off. I don't know where I got this from. Dalek alarm clock. It's made by Wesco. Wesco. And it's made in China. Perhaps it can speak Chinese. I don't know. I wonder if they have... Do they have Doctor Who in China? And if so, do the Daleks speak Chinese? Or Japanese? Do they speak... I mean, what countries does Doctor Who go in? Saudi Arabia? Do they speak Arabic, I wonder? Daleks? Anyone know that? Be interesting, wouldn't it? Thank you very much. Vera's here. In regards to the question about... okay, we'll come to that in a moment, Vera. Okay, so there we are. Let's read some little messages from the other platforms there. Let's have a quick look there. Kevin's there. Evening, Kevin. First message of the evening. Evening, Kevin. Evening to Jason Hughes. Mr. Sparky is there. Evening, Sparky. Bosch is there. Evening to Bosch. Back again. Flash is here. Evening, lovely Flash. Hello, darling. All right? He's coming along to the karaoke at some point. My sister's there, Sharon. Evening, Sharon. Hello, Sharon. Sharon is very much looking forward. On my recent trip to America, I purchased her a delightful fridge magnet. And when I rang her from Magic Kingdom, Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Magic Kingdom, where dreams come true. Anyone ever heard that at Disney before? Usually they say that before the fireworks. With echo, just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Magic Kingdom, where dreams come true. Oh, I can't wait to hear that again. I love it. I love it. Like I said last week and the week before and the week before that, I could probably quite happily now walk into the Magic Kingdom and just what would you say, hang out, walk around and not go on any rides and have just much fun. I just like watching the people. I like watching the people have it, in particular the kids, and the happiness on their faces where these dreams are becoming true as you walk around there. You know, it's wonderful. Evelyn says, anyway, she's very excited. I rang her from Magic Kingdom to let her know. I mean, usually it would be a bit of a surprise, but this time I thought I'd ring her and say, I've bought you while I was in America, all those wonderful shops and all that in America, and I know she loves a fridge magnet, and she sounded so excited on the phone. I've purchased her a fridge magnet with, no, I'm not going to tell you what one it is, Shao, because that would be spoiling the surprise. That would actually be spoiling the surprise. I do have a couple of spare ones, you know. Spare fridge magnet. I think it's it's either a fridge magnet or a pin, you know. And I can't wait for her to be in front of the fireworks and she gets that announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Magic Kingdom where dreams come true. I wonder if I could send in my voice, they would use it. Can you just imagine the happiness on my sister's face if she's standing there and my voice booms out on the speakers announcing, welcome to the Magic Kingdom. What do you think? Has anyone else heard that before? Oh dear. Evening to Maureen. There's Maureen. Maureen enjoyed the karaoke last night. Thank you, Maureen. She finished off last night. Finished off the show there. Luke says, I think the new series of Doctor Who starts soon. I saw an advert for it. I will be watching it. I think Doctor Who has pretty much been destroyed in the eyes of proper, hardcore Doctor Who fans. I've got to be honest. For me, I'll watch it. I was never a really hard... I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I liked Doctor Who. But I think it's very much been destroyed. In the... Oh, I've got messages now. They're coming in on TikTok. Okay, I'll come to those in a minute. In the eyes of proper Doctor Who, and to be fair, normal people walking around like you and me, a lot of people think it's been totally destroyed by the very man that saved it, you know, pushing agendas at us all the time. We don't want agendas pushed at us. If I wanted that, I'd watch the old versions of the Open University. I want to see Doctor Who fighting monsters. That's all we want. That's all we want. But you're pushing an agenda all the time. I mean, to be fair, the special effects are fantastic now. I bet if they now remade Planet of the Spiders would look real. That is my... I know I've mentioned it so many times. That is my favourite ever Doctor Who. Planet of the Spiders with John Pertwee. You watch those spiders, I can't stop laughing. They look so unreal, it's unbelievable. But that doesn't matter, because the story was good. The spiders jumping on people's back and taking over their heads. And then the big spider at the end exploding and killing John Pertwee with him to become Tom Baker. I love it. Give me the crystal. I must have it, Doctor. Give it to me. The spider is screaming at the Doctor. So funny. Mark Bowles is there. Evening, Mark. Hello, my dirty little secret. Just dropped off his little boy. He's had his son with him for the day. Hello to you, Mark. I think it was on the beach yesterday. Were you on the beach again today? You was on the beach with him yesterday, wasn't you? Right, Rough Cuts is there, Mr. Blakey, Evelyn Blakey, and Jesus is there. Hello to Jesus, who agrees with the Doctor Who comment there. He also thinks it's been ruined. He just doesn't like it anymore. And kissing. Now, I'm not talking about the gay kissing. This started with Matt Smith, didn't it? I think he was the fun, and he's kissing girls. And then this one carries it on and kissed a bloke on there. Why have we got kissing on Doctor Who? Please. Like I said, all I want to see is the Doctor and his assistant fighting monsters. That's all we want to see. Not all this other crap going on there. Shocking. There we go. Mark went to... we went to Western. Let him beat me at air hockey. What is... Oh, Western Supermare. Yeah. Western Supermare. Blimey, that brings back some memories. I would have been... 12, 13, 14 the last time I was there. something like that. Pontins. It was either called Seacroft or Sand Bay. Is it still there, Mark? I always remember one day going onto this. It was a cloudy day. Going onto this massive beach. It wasn't far from the entrance to the Pontins. It was. I think it was Sand Bay. I think it was Sand. Oh, it could have been Seacroft. One of those two. Anyway, and you walked over the road, and the beach was like in front of you. It was a massive, and there was no one there. Just us, me and my mum and my dad. Mark says yes. Sandy Bay is still there. It's a massive beach. Do you know? I'm tempted. I could go there for a little holiday on my own, couldn't I? Do you know what I mean by memories, and you just go to places. I've been to Bracklesham Bay a few times. That's in Sussex, and yeah, you just walk around. You don't need to really do much. Walk around, have a little bit of a meal somewhere, and just walk around and see what was there 55 years later to what was there before. And I don't think it's a Pontins anymore. I think someone else, because they sold a lot of their stuff. Terrible state Pontins. Terrible. Really sad. I talked to my sister about it. It's really sad to know the fun we have there and what it is now, what it is today. Mind you, Butlins, they've kept up with the maintenance and all that business. I mean, their rooms in Skegness are really lovely and warm in the middle of winter, but I'm sorry, you're walking around there, all you can smell is weed. People walking around in tracksuits. Well, which is okay. I mean, I'm very happy to look at those lads in their tracksuits, but and rowing deer. They're like animals, dear, animals. Are you like that, Mark? Are you a bit of an animal? He says you'd meet me. I certainly would, actually. Yeah, I would. I'd come down the pub with all your mates. I wonder what they'd make out of me. How's that, Mark? Yeah, I'll find out where you drink and I'll just turn up there one night. In drag. Run over and sit on your lap in front of all your mates. Or even better, you know what I mean? Private joke, Mark. Even better than your mates. Yes, I think that will go down very well. Oh dear. Evening to Gary Ross. Hello to you, sir. Mr. Rimington is with us. Evening, Mr. Rimington. Thank you, Bosch, the best chatty man. Do you know what I was thinking the other night, Bosch? And I've thought this for some years, right? I've gone all over YouTube. No one does something like this, and I find that odd. Why doesn't anyone else do this? Or is it a bit old hat? Again, I was going on YouTube, and there was sometimes you get people giving you a little bit of advice, and I'm usually on there for approximately 3 seconds. And anyway, this bloke says, no, it was a bit. No, sorry, incorrect. BBC. I don't know any of you that watched the programme Click with Spencer Kelly. No, I'm not really a Spencer Kelly fan, to be honest. He does the job. He's a bit smarmy, do you know what I mean? But he does the job, to be fair, and he does the job very well. He's just not for me. Some people would like him. I'm sure they do. And it stopped. It's finished. It's finished. They've taken it off, and they're going to bring it back rebranded, but they're going to do individual subjects, which they say is what people now want. Now, that kind of makes sense to me, why we don't really get that many people here. You might be lucky and have like 25, 30. We don't really go much further than 30. And then the recording thing, maybe 100, 150, max 200, if I'm really lucky. Not that I'm bothered by numbers, but it would be nice to have more there. However, it kind of makes sense, right? Because on this show, we're all over the place, as you well know. We go from one thing to another, stuff that's not written down in the schedule that just comes into my head because someone has said something. Like Mark there. I had no intention of talking about holiday camps today, or indeed Disney, but it just came through. Okay? When you watch the dedicated YouTube channels, you might see someone is talking about today electric bikes, and you watch it and it will be all about electric bikes. A couple of people I follow on YouTube. There's London Eats, and that video is all about him collecting videos. Like he collecting food. He works for Uber Eats and the other one. I can't remember what they're called now. There's several of them. He has them all up, and he collects the food from a restaurant and takes it round to someone's house on a motorbike or a electric bike, and that's his show. And you know, if you watch that, that's what you're going to get, right? You know, there's Artisan Electrics. Be surprised at some of the stuff I watched on there, and all his stuff is about him and his company installing electrical things in people's houses. Could be solar panels, one of those fuse boards on the walls, something like that. You know exactly what you're going to get, yeah? As a bloke who does hotels. There's lots of people do travel shows. Loads of people do travel shows. And you know, if you watch... Oh, I can't think of his name now. He's a particular person, and he's got a lovely missus and a little boy called Casper. I can't think of his name for a minute. Right? And if you watch his channel, you know it's going to be all about a hotel or a place that he's gone to. Holiday type things. Right? Now, this seems to be what the BBC want to do with Click, and it will have a different title. They're going to choose one thing and go with that. Now, what they were doing before was a bit of everything, albeit all technology. Now, is that not similar to what I'm doing here? Which is probably why we don't get so many people, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, you really don't. I could peg out in a minute. You don't know? No, I hope not anyway. Mark, yeah, you got that right. That's exactly it, Mark. We'll find out where that particular person drinks and turn up there, hand in hand. Anyway, thank you, Bosch. Thank you, Bosch. Let me just scroll down here nice and quickly. Bosch says it's a long time since I was in church. It's not for everyone, is it? You know, I love it. I'm very, very happy sitting there on a Sunday morning. I wasn't playing today. Someone else was. John was playing today. Interesting last hymn, which no one knew. I'm always very, very conscious of that, making sure that the last hymn is. I think the word is a banger. You know, everyone knows it. I want them walking out, kind of doing that. You know, when it's finished there. But we did. No one knew that last hymn today. Not even the choir. I don't think. I think Debs might be with us tonight. You know. Debs didn't know it either, she said to me. Carl's there. He's off to the pub. What, already at this time, dear? God's sake, man. Oh, what, you mean the people on the video leaving the church? Not 11:30, I hope, dear. God's sake. A few people leave. Just even as soon as that last hymn plays, they're gone, mate. Because actually, the mass is finished. The final hymn is a bolt-on, right? It's a bolt-on. Mass has actually finished at that point. So you're welcome to leave, you know. And always a small group of people will leave instantly the priest finishes. But I think I proved on my video, so please watch carefully, dear. Watch carefully. Carl went to his parish today. Very good. More choir members and preparing for Easter. Excellent. Excellent. Gary, good to see Chris on form. Hyper as usual. Hyper, I don't remember. My sister says, remember you're a womble. I am a womble. I am a womble. Remember the wombles with those fat asses? That's me. Remember you're a womble. Remember what a womble you. That one. We like a bit of litter picking there. Bosch did it for Leeds City Council. As a job. As a paid job. Wow. Do you know, I think there's a big difference, Bosch, between going out whenever you want with a litter picker and a couple of bags and then having to do it 9 till 5. I don't think I'd want that. I mean, I after a couple of hours, my feet start giving up the ghost, and I come home. Trouble is, you can be a long way away. That's the thing. Gary says, my missus' gob never closes. I wish I could clamp that. I recommend gaffer tape. That's very good. It's not so bad on the ladies unless they're a little bit older and they've started growing a moustache. You know, some of them do. They do. That's how it is. No, they're not trans. They're not trans. They just grow a moustache for some reason, a little bit of a beard. I mean, don't tell my sister. I had noticed it. I had noticed it on my sister. I think she started shaving. My sister. Last time I had a little bit of a hug and I thought, oh, there's bristles on there. Luke says, yes, I watched that channel. It's called Walk With Me, Tim. That's the one. Yeah. Now, generally, his shows are very good. But I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. They did Claridge's one. I think it was either Claridge's or the Savoy. One of those two, right? Oh, they ain't got a bleeding clue. I'm sorry. Walking through the corridors with a glass of wine? Oh, come on. That was his missus, weren't it? She's walking through, and they're talking to the camera in these corridors in the hotel. And this is a quiet place. And then they went up to the room and they discussed how much it was. And, you know, let's make no bones about it. It is expensive to stay at a 5-star, all-in hotel type thing. Everything is done for you. Nothing is too much trouble. I mean, anything you want, it can happen there. Whatever you want, you just go and see the concierge bloke. But you will pay a lot of money for it. Anyone can do it. You have to decide what you want. Do you want to keep smoking? Or would you like a night out at Claridge's, you know, for the cost of, 3 months smoking? Up to you. You have to save the money if you want to do these things. Yeah? Anyway, so right at the end of this particular one, actually, I'm thinking it was the Savoy. I'm thinking it was possibly the Savoy. And she was up there, and she got this list out. Oh, my God, she's got, I don't know, it was a £20 if you have a cup of tea in your room. But let us give you this little tip. And he was going, right? And he says, let me give you this little tip. He said, if you want a cup of tea, don't call down and have one brought up, right? Just go outside the front entrance, cross the road, and there's a Starbucks. Oh, come on. You missed the entire point of staying there. Why would you do that? If you're going to spend that amount of money on a room, you might as well push the button and have the butler bring up some tea, mightn't you? And no, I don't think they had much of a clue what was going on. Then he was saying how expensive the dinner was. I think it cost them £200 for the dinner or something like that. Well, don't have it then. Don't have it then. And sit there and moan about it. I mean, I don't have dinner in a hotel simply because there's nothing I like on the menu. I mean, I have the breakfast there. Oh, breakfast to die for. It really is. You die when you see how much a breakfast is in Claridge's. Anyway, so that's that. Bosch says London is a complete hole. I think so. I know loads of people that live in London and they don't like living there. They really don't. Chris Sutcliffe. Hello, Chris. He's on Facebook. Evening to you, Chris. Welcome along to the show. Welcome, Chris. Gosh, it's been a while since I saw you. Gary Ross deleted TikTok after his streaming on quiz. Too much hassle writing a message in the TikTok chat box. A lot of them weren't allowed. Well, you know, that's just how it is. Don't forget, you can always send a message. The best way to send a message is, quite frankly, to text it. When I remember to look at them. Because that's what I did wrong last week here. I've still got a message here, Vera, from Vinny. Vinny. I know it's closed, but can I do Skyfall? No, it's closed, mate. Unlucky. Mark, I'm so tempted to do that now, actually. Booked myself in at, oh, God. What was it again? Seacroft? Seacroft or Sandbay, whatever it's called now. Hello, love. Look who he's with now. He's jumped ship. Mandy Davenport, evening to Mandy. Gonna go down quick. What do you think of the shocking review of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? It is on now. I intend to go, if possible, tomorrow at some point. I didn't think it was on yet. I thought we had another week to wait, but it's on now at the Cineworld in Bracknell. Here, Mark. Can you jump on a train? We'll go to the cinema to go. Oh, mind you, I want to actually watch the film rather than snog you in the back row, don't I? So maybe not. It's on there. 13:40. It says here. I might go tomorrow about 20 to 2, 20 to 3. What is it, about an hour and a half? Yeah, I could do that. 4DX. What's that? 4DX. Isn't that where the seats shake or something like that? Biggest thrill I'll ever get now. Hey? Is that where the seats shake? 4DX. It says 14:10. Oh, I could go tomorrow night, actually. I could go tomorrow night. It's on at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. I might go tomorrow night, actually. It won't be busy. Kids are not on school, are they, Mark? Oh, hang on a minute. Because you had your boy, didn't you? Are they at school? I don't know. Mark Bowles said, I paid to see that. She'd end up trying... Yeah, what do you mean you'd paid to see that? You'd be there, dear. You'd be there. Evening to Paul and Lou. It's today's Name That Tune, Chaz and Dave Rabbit. We're not doing Name That Tune. That's the radio show, dear. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to mention it, boys and girls. If you're free in the mornings, I do a little radio show. It's between 9 and 10 o'clock. There you go. And you can watch it on Twitch or TikTok. That's how to find it. Go to reachonair.com and just click the listen button. Or if you've got a smart speaker, it works on there as well. All you have to do is go into your Amazon device, enable the skill called Reach on Air, close the program, and then you just say to your device, play Reach on Air after her name, okay? And it blasts out of there. Or you can watch the show on Twitch or TikTok. Twitch is free of charge. It's a little bit like YouTube, but they don't have so much restrictions on music, so we're able to do it on there. And sign that up there, get your free account, and look for me. Chris Reardon UK is my number on there, okay? Luke says it must be so annoying not being able to eat out. There should be more adaptable for vegetarians. Actually, you don't have too much of a problem anymore, Luke, to be fair. Even in America, even in the States, in Disney, they did vegetarian hot dogs, or they were like a quarter the size of the normal ones. Very disappointing size of that. Good job it had chips with it there. So Snow White, haven't seen it yet. Probably go and see it tomorrow night, maybe tomorrow afternoon. If they had a morning one, I'd probably go in the morning after swimming. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I'll have a little look tomorrow. I know people aren't very happy about it, but you know, that's how it is. We'll see about that. Hello to Lisa. Evening to Lisa. Welcome along to the show, Lisa. All right, darling. We want a Time Lord, not a gay lord. Yeah, same as me. I want to see a Time Lord. A Time Lord fighting monsters on Doctor Who. None of this woke crap there. Okay, let me just scroll down. Hello to Nicholas. Hello, Nicholas Pandolfi. He's a BBC person, you know. Oh, yes, dear. Oh, yes. BBC Radio. You see, all the stars are here watching my show. They don't watch any of the others. You know, I don't know what show you're doing now, actually, Nick. Are you on a show? Of course, in radio, no one in radio ever covets anyone else's show, do they, Nicholas? You know, if you're doing the breakfast show, you know that no one on the midnight shift would want to take your show from you. Isn't that true? Vera says, you don't see Daleks kissing. What a stupid comment, Vera. I mean, where are their mouths? How are they going to kiss? Look, you can't even get a tongue in there. There's nowhere to put a tongue. Look. Vera, what's going on today, darling? Are you having a mental disturbance? Mandy was at Western Supermare yesterday. Look at that. There we are. Lake District, beautiful place. Hello to Norma, who's in Massachusetts. Hello to Norma. Welcome along to the show. Right, I'm going to have to scroll down here because we've been doing messages for 40 minutes and haven't done anything else yet. What do you think of the rumours of Danny Dyer taking over as Doctor? Oh, please don't. That'd finish it for me completely. I can't stand him. Seriously, I cannot bear that voice. It's like, oh, hello, mate. He reminds me of one of those alpha males who go in the gym. I mean, what are you, love? No, there's just no... No, I think everyone should have a slightly feminine side, which is quite why I like Mark Bowles. There is a little bit of a feminine side going on there, Mark. I'm sorry. I do feel... I wish my sister had a feminine side, really, but what with all the shaving and that going on... I don't know what's wrong with me today. I've had no one to talk to. That's what it is. I got verbal diarrhea tonight. Right, I'm just gonna scroll. I'll have to scroll down here because we're not moving on with the show there. Bosch isn't looking forward to the summer budget. Yeah, I wonder what she's gonna try this time. What's she gonna try this time? Jason Rose. Jason, hello to Jason in Sussex. Cold and miserable there. You have put the heating on, dear. You put the heating on there. I'm just looking down for any names I haven't read out yet. Weird City. Hello to Weird City. Welcome along to you. The 7th shirt has been revealed. There's one more to go. There's one more shirt left in my shirts that I bought, along with my sister's fridge magnet from America. She thinks she's got something else. I don't know why. A nice... Well, actually, it's 2 fridge magnets. Because the first time... I did kind of lie to you a little bit there. The first time I told her it's a fridge magnet, she said to me on the phone, and these are her exact words, "You've got me what?" I said, "A fridge magnet. Listen, you're in America. Get back down them effing shops and get me something decent." That was her exact words while I was on an international call. If Donald Trump or any of the FBI were listening, I don't know what sort of family they thought I'd come from. Swearing and screaming down the phone. "Get back down them effing shops," she says. Screaming down the phone she was. Poor old lady sitting next to me in the coach had a heart attack. Bless her. My sister says, "Mum had a dress like that shirt." Or was it Nanny? Bosh, I'm checking a text. I'm doing a text here. You haven't sent me one, have you? Send me a text, bitch. 07451 287 337 is my number. Okay. Right. Scrolling. Roy's there. Evening to you, Roy. Thank you. Gary's going to try and get up tomorrow morning, 9 till 10 o'clock. reachonair.com. Okay, the clock looks like an old BBC clock. Oh, you mean this one? There we go, that one. It is. That is an old BBC clock. That is. And that is the old Thames television clock. Just so you know. Why waste things? We got to keep these things going, my dear. Got to keep them going. Vera, isn't there an OAP day for the cinema goers? How rude. Nicholas says, he's the BBC lad, every station I work at closes. Yeah, funny that, isn't it, Nick? I wonder why that is. I actually think local radio has been decimated in this country. The whole idea way back in the 70s, when I was still in primary school, I'd heard that these new radio stations were coming. All we had was BBC. And I had a transistor radio and I took it into school. Nicholas, I'm sure I'm older than you, Nick. I'm 62 now. I used to take this little transistor radio into school and I'd be tuning around. I'd hear the test broadcast for Capital Radio and LBC. And they were running test broadcasts. This is a test broadcast for LBC on the Independent Broadcasting Authority. I can't remember what it was now, what the announcement was. And the idea was every place in the UK or many places had their own little local radio station with local people presenting on there. Oh, what has it become? And actually there's one of the other groups, I think it's Bayer. Is it Bayer? They're about to sack all their local DJs and have one programme coming for London, I think it's London, as their breakfast show. All the localness has gone. And I said, oh, it is local. We still do the local weather and a little bit of news. I don't know if they're still doing that or not. That's not local radio. I'm sorry, it isn't. You know, it's like the old ITV regions when you had a bloke, and this is a job I wanted to do. I wanted to be the bloke in between the programs. You know, like Tom Edwards. You know Tom, Nick. And a very good morning to you and welcome to Monday Mornings here on Thames. And we're starting with our programmes for schools and colleges. I wanted to do that. It's all gone now. All gone. Doesn't exist. And you related to that person, wherever you were in a country. Oh, it's Tom. He does London, or that's Sarah. She does Wales. You related to this person. All gone. Very sad. I'm just going to scroll there. Vera's just sent me some money. What, after all those insults, Vera? Oh, hang on. So I've still got the music on loop there. Hang on, is that finisher? Thank you, Vera. She just sent me a £2 tip. Thank you, Vera. Oh, I'll have to insult you a bit more. Sis, are you sending me any tips today, darling? Please? I'm going to have to scroll down really quickly here because we're just not getting to the show, are we? Roy, we said hello to Roy. There's Debbie. Hello, Debs. She was at church earlier. Lovely singing, except for the last hymn, Debs, which no one knew. Never mind. Have a word. Tom Edwards, what a legend. Yeah, he's just had his 80th birthday. I meant to ring him. He's just literally had his 80th birthday. He lives in Lincolnshire. Tiny little village. Little village in Lincolnshire he lives. I met up with him a couple of times, we had a little bit of a cup of tea and a meal. Nice bloke. Thank you, Weird City says the shirt looks great with blue jeans and a blazer. Yeah, I don't know if I should have had that. I think the white one is kind of on there, isn't it? Something like that. Poor Deborah. Oh, no, don't at church. Some poor old dear fell down the stairs today. Oh, I did feel sorry for her. She had a cup of water with her. And I was talking to Debs, and all of a sudden there was this almighty crash. And the trouble is, all the floor in these places is usually stone. And you get the slightest bit of water on there, and that's it. It's as slippery as anything, really. Some poor old dear. So we all went over and rushed out. Debs ran outside and got some paper, to clear up the water. So I did that. Because you've got to clear that up quick because the next one's going to go arse over tit as well down the stairs. Oh, it was horrible. Poor lady. Poor old lady. She was about 75, would you say, Debs? 75, something like that. Evening to CC Media Scratch Cards. Was in a restaurant today. 2 persons got kissed out as no same-sex kissing or doing stuff is not allowed as they are kids and family. It's crazy. No, I tell you what's crazy. People kissing in restaurants. Whether the girl and boy or 2 boys or 2 girls. I don't care. Why are you kissing in a restaurant? We don't want to see that. Tongues and all that business going on. Wrong place to do kissing, dear. Backseat of a cinema with someone like Mark Bowles. I'm very happy with that. Thank you very much. Mark says it will look better on my floor. What, me? Stop it. Someone sent in a little text here. Great show so far, Chris. Thank you very much. You didn't send your name though, so I don't know who you are. Feel free to send your name. Mark says, did you get matching bottoms with that shirt, Chris? No, we don't do pyjamas or anything like that, I'm afraid. Yeah, Jason, you go out to eat food, not tongues. Absolutely. Why are people going in restaurant? I mean, all right, even on a bad day, I'll even kiss my sister on the cheek. I mean, I'm not keen on it really, but, sometimes you've got to show willing, haven't you? She cuddles me like she's, oh, give me a hug, and she's cuddling me. I'm kind of trying to hold her away, but it's difficult sometimes. Deb, you should see what they do in the hot tubs at the spa. Oh, I bet they do. Sadly, not at the village in the steam room. I mean, I've been in there sometimes and I'd be a fit lad and I thought, here we go. And then some girl walks in and spoils all the fun. Why do they do that? Oh, dear. Oh, okay. Bosch Washer. Okay, I got you now. I'll add your name to that. You won't have to send your name again. I'll just know it's you, okay? BOSCHWASHER. Have you got a date on there as well, haven't you? I think. Oh, hang on. Done it all in capitals. We've got to move on in a minute. BOSCHWASHER. Isn't there a date on it as well, or a year or something? Was it 2025? Wasn't it 2025? That's it. Now every time your name comes up, You send a message. You don't need to send your name anymore. It'll come up with it, all right. Mark says, went to Weston on the seafront and seen two girls about 13 years old snogging. I was shocked. Oh, come on. It all starts earlier than that. There was me and another person at primary school. That's all I'm saying. We were both 9. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Can't mention names. They all get married in the end. Honestly, the secrets that I have to hold here. God, people tell me stuff. Oh. Weird City, I was 12. Yeah, I was 12 and what? Now, don't say any more. Don't say. You don't need to say any more. You don't need to say any more. Right. Yeah, CC manager. The manager told them to get out as they were full on doing stuff and they were in tracksuits. I mean, say no more. This old tracksuit thing, what is all that about? Eh? Was it a grey tracksuit by any chance? And is there a video for me to watch later? No, stop it now. Stop it. Stop it. I want to ask you a question today, and I'm going to open my phone line tonight. I know. Now, I mentioned about 3 weeks ago, there's a good chance we're going to lose the phone number. The supplier, what I have is a Skype phone number, which I've had for years. It's dirt cheap, like 30 quid a year, something like that. And I pay that. And for that, I get a London number, which I'm going to put up on the screen in a moment. Okay. And people can call in, and it's just a normal phone number. It's not like a premium rate, £1.50 a minute or any of that old bollocks. It's a not sorry, any of that stuff. I mustn't swear. It's Lent. Try not to swear. Okay? And it's worked very well. The trouble is Skype are closing. So I would have to get a virtual number somehow, but I'm not quite sure how that works. And whether you get a bit of software with it so you can answer the phone on the computer, which I need to be able to do to connect it with you listening. I'm not sure. I also believe there are ways where you can actually keep the same number, which would be very nice because we do have a phone-in jingle, which I will play to you in a minute. If I can find it now and call in. Yeah, I found it already. Okay, I do have a phone-in jingle, and it would be a shame if I had to change the number if I had a virtual line. I'm not convinced that I actually need to have a phone-in anymore because we've never really had much success with it in the past. Now and again, you get a couple of people ringing in, and it's always the same people. And and I'm very grateful for those 2 or 3 people for ringing in. Now and again, extremely rarely, like twice a year, we might keep having more call, and that's great because that's what the whole thing. But if it doesn't work, it's a bit pointless paying out for it. And I gather a virtual number is going to cost me something like a tenner a month. However, of course, no, hang on a minute, tax deductible item. Tax deductible item. Need it for the job. Wow, how's this part of your job? Well, I've told you about the karaoke, haven't I? That I host every Friday and Saturday at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Yes. There's the advert. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Skype is still running, and that's how it works. Hello, Built in Scotland. I think I said hello to you. You literally ring and it comes up on my Skype, and I can take the call like that. Virtual number. I really don't know how that works. So I've had a little bit of a look around, but it's not clear to me how you would connect it. I gather you can set it up with WhatsApp. Now, I can do WhatsApp numbers on here. I can take a call from a WhatsApp. My personal, as in personal phone number, is connected to WhatsApp. The thing is, you don't want to give out your personal phone number on here because it will ring all day and night, you know. It'll be marked, but hello, Chris. It'd be ringing me up every 5 minutes. Oh, can I come round now? You know what they're like. You know what they're like. I don't know, Mark. I don't think I can read that out. Can I read that out? No, I'm not going to read that out. All right. And Luke says, I think people are so annoyed about Snow White because they've changed the story from the original 2 Max. Oh, yes. Yeah, and what's the problem with having small people? I gather the biggest thing here is the song Someday My Prince Will Come has gone. That's not in the new film. Can you believe that? How can you not have that song in the new remake of Snow White? I don't get it. And the other big problem was the dwarves. The dwarves. The dwarves are now not real people. They're generated characters on a computer. You know, and don't get me wrong, these small people are furious. They've done them all out of jobs. We talked about this, I think it was either on the show last week or on the radio show. I can't remember now. But we keep coming across this where someone else in their right mind decides, oh no, that's offensive to dwarfs. I mean, and it's not. The dwarfs are furious because now they could have had jobs out of that. 12 of them, I believe. Is it 12? 12 dwarfs, is it? Snow White and the 12 dwarfs, is it 12 or something like that? No Dopey or Sleepy in the film, really? No Dopey or Sleepy? It's all bullshit. All bullshit. But I will give it a go. I will give it a go. Now, who's the actress who plays the... Oh, no, we don't want to go there, really. Don't want to go there. Mark says now, who's being woke? Not reading it out. Okay. All right, I'll take that back, Mark. Let me read it out. Girls who like girls, here's a question from Mark Bowles for you. Why is it that dykes hate blokes, but one always looks like a bloke? That's what Mark Bowles wants to know. Mark wants to know that question. Why is it that they don't hate me? I've never come across any... Oh, no, there was one little thing it was with glasses. Oh, she was right lefty. Oh, she was awful, this woman. And she got some bloke kicked out and barred, right? Because she lied. A lot of these people, not dykes necessarily, a lot of people lie. They go to the bar and they lie. Oh, that bloke's told me to F off or something like that. And none of that was true because I know the particular man who was barred. He never swears. Doesn't matter anyway, he's back now. Hello to Callum. Are you watching Butler's Empire tonight at 8? No, at that time, I will be starting my little gym journey up to the gym for a little bit of Sunday night going on up there. And I usually am watching it while on the running... It's not a running machine. I don't run on it. A walking machine on an iPad at round about 9:15 sort of time. So that's when I watch it. A little bit later on. Yeah, so let's see what anyone says about that. Any of our girls who like girls, all right? What gym? I'll make you pop up, Mark Bolt. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever sought medical help in a foreign country? So you're on holiday, having a nice time. I don't know. You've picked up some terrible disease. I mean, you know, God help you if you get malaria or something like that. I would imagine it depends what country you're in. Now, I've been told, surprisingly, some surprising places where their healthcare is better than it is here. Thailand, for example. Our friend Roy has been to Thailand a few times. I know a lot of people that have been to Thailand. And if you want something done, my mate Roy was telling me, that is the place. Go there and get it done. Excellent medical care there, and it's not expensive. You know, I mean, what would you have done there? Obviously not in emergency work. I mean, if you had a heart attack, I suppose you'd be dead by the time you got on a plane going there. But something else maybe, you know? I'm trying to think of something. Maybe a new hip, something like that. He reckons Thailand. I personally wouldn't do something like that. I wouldn't do that. I'd worry that if something goes wrong, then the NHS have got to sort it out. And then they'd say, you know, that's it. Dubai says Sparky says Dubai is fantastic for health criminals. Weird City says dentist too. But not so much going to have something done, okay? Say you're on holiday and you've got some sort of illness or you've broken something or anything like that, okay? And you've had to go to seek medical help there. I'd like to know how you got on. I'd love to know how you got on. And if you had, do give us a call now. Okay, 020-8144-3477 is my phone number. Have you ever been abroad and had to seek medical help, whether that's in a doctor or you've had to go to hospital? Maybe you've had to call an ambulance. And how did it work with the medical insurance that you have? Presumably you had medical insurance. I think you've got to be pretty mad to go to some places, in particular to America, without health insurance. It's just crazy. Vera's on the line. Hello, Vera.
Hello.
Evening, my darling. All right?
Yes, thank you.
Vera is in the house. Hello, love. Oh, let me just turn my speakers on. I haven't got the speakers on. Oh, mind you, I can hear you like that. That's all right.
Yes.
Speak
yes,
to me,
fine.
baby. So you've had to seek medical help somewhere, have you?
No, not me personally, but my mother has had emergency medical help through her own stupidity.
Your mum?
She paid the price. Yes.
Okay. What was that?
She, my sister lives in Australia, and she wanted to go and spend some time with my sister. About 3 months. My mother was in her 70s at the time.
Right.
And of course, when you get to over 60s or over 65, medical insurance is a lot more expensive than normal insurance.
I've heard that, yeah.
Because of health reasons and stuff like that.
If you wanted it, you've got nothing wrong with you, have you?
No.
How old are you now? 60?
64.
64. I can't believe you're 64. You've got nothing wrong. I've got all sorts of little bits and pieces going on here.
Nothing wrong with me at all.
Right, wow. Okay. Carry on.
Touch wood. So my mother, by that point, she had quadruple heart bypass, which she has massive staples down the front of her, which is fine. She was out the hospital within 2 weeks. Everyone else was there for 2 months. She was up and out. She didn't want to stay in that hospital.
Yeah.
So she decided she wanted to go to Australia, but she didn't want to pay for travel insurance because it was too much money. She said, I'll be fine, don't worry, I don't need... I said, Mum, you need to get... No, I don't need insurance. I said, okay, you're the boss. So off she went to Australia to see my sister. I think she was there for about 3 weeks, bearing in mind she's supposed to be there for 3 months. In the third week, I didn't know about this. At the time, I was on Facebook, just scrolling through pictures, and I was out that night, Friday night, I think maybe at Central Station, and I saw a picture of my mother in the hospital. I'm like, what's this all about? Because she's standing next to my nephew, and I'm like, oh, what's this? Apparently, it says, Nana's okay after her stroke, and I went, what stroke? I had no idea she had the stroke.
Gosh.
So I rushed back home, called my sister in the middle of the night to tell her what I've seen on Facebook. She said, what do you mean you've seen it on Facebook? No one called. I said, no. I said, Mum's in hospital and you saw it on Facebook. I said, well, yeah. So anyway, it turns out because she didn't have insurance, there's a charge for the ambulance in Australia.
Yeah. How much was that?
Of course, that was about $2,000, I think. Something to that effect. And of course, the time she spent and the medications she had in Australia. Bearing in mind, there's things that was administered to her are not allowed in this country. But
what do you mean,
okay,
like certain drugs?
There's a lot of stuff that drugs that the system here, British system here, will not pass.
Okay.
But it's okay in America and in Australia and various parts of the world. Right. But this country will not allow it because it's too strong and it can be addictive to patients, which is what they told her in Australia. But of course, they have to fix and mend her. They took X-rays and all sorts and stuff like that. And she was okay within, I think, about a couple of weeks. That's how long she was in the hospital for.
Okay.
She carried on with the rest of her holiday. Obviously, my sister and my nephew keeping an eye on her, making sure she didn't get another stroke because that'd be more money. When she got back, she had to pay about £15,000.
Wow.
That could have easily been covered by travel insurance.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my mother being stubborn, she didn't want anyone to help her pay it back. She paid it back all by herself.
Gosh.
And she was quite proud of doing that, but also felt bad for doing it.
That's a pretty major thing to happen on holiday, a stroke or a heart attack, something like that, isn't it?
Yes, yes. And she was in her mid-70s as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm glad that, she was able to come back and she never passed on in Australia, because that would be devastating for the rest of the family.
Yeah.
But she made it back, and she recovered slowly but surely. There's a few minor hiccups along the way that she had. Memory loss slightly and stuff like that. It was annoying her, and things that she would normally be able to do, she couldn't do anymore.
What else did she lose the ability? What did she lose, an arm, or I don't mean cut an arm off?
No. Everything was fine. She was able to move both arms, legs. She didn't have any droopiness in her face or anything like that. Speech was fine. It's just that sometimes when she's trying to do something, her brain wouldn't function quick enough for her hands, basically, and she would get annoyed and go into a rage and throw things across the room.
Okay.
Frustration, I think what it was, because my mother was also in her mid-70s,
Right.
a gamer. She liked to play computer games.
Yeah.
Even that she didn't want to do anymore. Crossword puzzles, she didn't want to do that anymore. She just didn't want to do all the favourite
Lost
things that she
interest in
loved.
stuff
She
then,
just
really.
didn't want to do it. Yeah.
Gosh.
Which kept her mind active.
Yeah, I was going to say, 15 grand, 2 weeks in hospital? 2 weeks in hospital?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, that doesn't sound too bad. If this was America, I think you'd be looking at $100,000 or something like that. The price they charge for their stuff is ludicrous. All the Americans have to have all their own insurance. One of my friends wanted to move there, but he's got kidney issues, and it would be too expensive for him to have the medical insurance for him to be able to go and live there. They're just not interested. I think it's terrible, Vera, how people make money out of people's illnesses. Now, I think we're extremely lucky here in the UK that whatever goes wrong, we just pitch up at casualty or go to the doctors. Not so easy these days, but that's how it should work. And we go and get done, and no payment required. It's all included in life in this country. Now, it's not working very well at the moment. Whether the new bloke's going to be able to make this better, as it used to be, I don't know. I don't know. That's how it should work here. And in my opinion, that should be like that across the whole world. No one should be making money out of people's illnesses.
Yes, I agree. But in saying that, you mentioned America. Had it happened in America, then I don't think my mother would have made it. Because first of all, they want to know if you can pay. And being in her mid-70s, obviously, when you get to a certain age, not everybody, but when you get to a certain age, credit card companies will not give you a credit card because you're not a working body, and they're thinking about how you will make the payments back. So she didn't have a credit card. She only had a debit card, which her pension would go in and out of.
Okay.
And that was it. So there's no way that she would have been allowed to travel to a hospital in America without any form of payment. They would have just said, well, we're sorry, we're not taking you.
Would they not
have done we can't.
Would they not have done the same as the Australians and just sent a bill through afterwards then? I don't know how it works, see. So.
No, America's a bit harsher.
Oh, right.
I mean, what about the people who actually live there? Forget about the tourism. People who actually live in America have the same problem. If you can't afford the insurance, we're not going to treat you. We're going to leave you on the pavement.
I think that's terrible, isn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely terrible. I don't know if our friend Glenda's here this evening to comment on that at all.
It'll be interesting to find out what she has to say about it and how it all works.
Yeah. Oh, well. All right, Vera. Well, thank you very much for your call tonight, my darling.
No problem.
Have a lovely... Can you answer this question here for Mark Bowles here? Oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I once got my stuck in a zip on holiday. No, Mark, I can't read that out, darling. He wants to know, why is it that dykes hate blokes, but one always looks like a bloke?
Well, for me personally, I can answer that question.
Oh, sorry, I've sniffed. You heard that. Carry on.
I can answer that. I can answer that question.
Go on, baby.
There's a few people. I mean, there's so many different categories of lesbians, and of course the gay men. You've got the over-the-top gay men, the macho gay men. Anyway, it's irrelevant.
That's me, isn't it? Macho gay man. That's me.
A few dykes, or butch dykes, as I call them, we may have been traumatized when they were little, and they'd rather be looking like a man to defend themselves.
Right. Or
perhaps if they're built, some of them are a bit bigger built than others, and they can't be looking feminine because there's nothing feminine about them. But I've got, my best mate is a man. I'm surrounded by men on a Friday night, as you see at karaoke.
Yeah.
There are no women on my table apart from me. So there you have it.
And
I've got no problem.
Which category of dyke would you consider yourself? Is that the correct word to use?
Lesbians, I think. I think that covers the genre of everybody.
What category of lesbian are you, my love? Are you like a butch?
I would say, no. If you're going to use the word butch, I would say I'm the soft butch. I'm like a pussycat butch.
Hey, kitty! Hey, kitty! Sorry?
If you get in my way,
yeah,
I can roar like a lion, and I will fight like a lion.
I wonder if you could do us a little
No
roar.
questions asked.
Could you do us a little roar now, please, Vera?
Meow.
Well, that's not hardly a roar, is it? That's like, you want to be stroked. Here, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty. Oh, look at this. Look at this on TikTok. I've got to read you this. Your live is flagged for hate speech and hateful behaviours. Oh, here we go.
What?
That's why we're not on TikTok. You see?
Exactly.
That's why we don't worry too much about TikTok. We could disappear off TikTok at any moment. I'm warning you this. If so, we're on Twitch. Join us on Twitch. That's where most people are. Hello, Molly. Go on.
Can I interrupt you there, Chris?
Please feel free.
In the chat box.
Hey?
Glenda's in chat box.
Oh, she's there, is she? Hang on, let's have a look then.
Yes.
Let's see what she's saying about the subject here. Oh, gosh, I've got to scroll a long way to see her. Where are we now? Glenda! Here we go. American here. Our healthcare system is great. Yes, we do have to carry health. Oh, yeah, I've heard all your stuff is great there. The treatment is fantastic in America. In fact, if I remember rightly, you seem to kind of treat pneumonia almost like a cold. We find that a very serious thing to have here, whereas in America it just seems to be like a sort of normal thing to treat over there. But anyway, she says, yes, we do have to carry health insurance, but most Americans obtain insurance through their employer. We have freedom to choose our providers, unlike the UK. So thank you for that, Glenda. And she works for a health insurance company. Look at that. Look at that.
Mm.
Wow. She says, if I go to my doctors and need a surgery, more likely I can have the surgery within a week or two rather than wait months or years, which is the case here, Glenda. People are waiting years here for stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's all gone wrong here. All gone wrong. Anyway, thank you very much, Vera.
You're welcome.
Have a nice evening, darling. All right. Bye-bye, love.
You take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Love. Bye. There's our Vera. Call in there. You can call in if you want to, boys and girls. Okay. 020-8144-3477 if you've had sort of any issues. Perhaps you've been abroad and had to bump into any of the medical services in whatever country you were in. Then call in and tell me all about it and what happened. What you had to pay, perhaps. Maybe you weren't treated and you had to be sort of shipped back here. 020-8144-3477. Evening, Gary. My nephew's there. Gary's there. Evening, Gary. Nanny Pig has just finished the Love for Sugar Rush. Hello to Nanny Pig. Hello, darling. Martin says there's a lot of people in America go bankrupt just to pay their medical bills. Presumably the ones without sort of any insurance there. Let's see if I can scroll up to some more of your messages. The best way to send a message directly is to text it in 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337. Where do we go there? Bosch, when I go abroad, I have insurance cover. Costs up to 1.2 cover that covers up to £1.2 million. You'd certainly need that in the States. I don't think $1 million would cover it in the States, to be honest. You know, if you're someone on holiday, you need really good insurance to go there. Don't scrimp and scrape on that. It's just not worth it. You never know what's going to happen. Gary Ross, France has a good healthcare. Heard people, going to get hip replacements and things like that. Yeah, and I think there's actually two cards you can get. There's a European health card and there's a global health card. Both are available to us as British citizens. Look them up. I apparently I've got a worldwide health card as well as my medical insurance, which actually is about to run out. I got the annual one this time because, as you know, I've been doing a little bit of travelling at the moment. Next place is California, although that's not until June now. Roy, now I've just got that. American Platinum, anything medical. Yes, I've just got a little email about that a couple of weeks ago, Roy. The American Platinum health insurance, which I'm going to look into before I renew the other one. But mine, I think, was about £400 a year, something like that, for the whole year, which I thought it was a bit dear, but, you know, I paid it and you've got to do that. Let's have a look here. Mr. Sparky, don't get ill in Cornwall, our town. It takes 2 hours to get an ambulance, or you get flying doctors will come when it's so critical, but no public transport after 6 o'clock. Look at that. Built in Scotland. I've only got a little bit of that message there. On hospital bills and even more to get him home. That's all I can see there from you. On hospital bill and even more to get him home. Perhaps you want to send that again. It's only since we half a message there for some reason. No, annual, Mark, not anal. Annual, dear. Annual insurance. You'll make me laugh, dear. I think we'd have a really good laugh in a pub. Before we go back to mine, that is, of course. Daniel's there. Good evening to Daniel. Welcome along. Built in Scotland says the insurance is a con because you still have to pay and then claim it back from insurance. Is that how it works? What, so you have to pay with your credit card and then claim it back? I thought you just told them who... I mean, you see, how does it work, right? Say, so you're abroad, you're on your own, and you have a stroke. You can't talk. Ambulance comes. Who's going to tell them who your insurance people is? Or do they look for your pockets or something? I presume they must look for your pockets, I suppose, do they? If you've got some sort of issue for papers and things, which means always carry your stuff with you. When you think about it, I thought you just gave them the name of your insurance, AXA, or someone, Admiral, someone, whatever, American Platinum, and then, okay, they contact them and they deal with it all. I didn't know you had to pay it first. Oh, what a lot of mucking about it is, isn't it, eh? Evening to Shania on the Isle of Wight. Evening, Shania, hello to you. Gary Ross was in Toronto, 2001, on an 8-week work experience program. I got a kidney infection when I was there as I was working outdoors on a golf course in -8 and -9 conditions. Okay. The program manager had to take me to the doctors as he had to fill in all the medical insurance paperwork that was embarrassing for him as he was around the same age as me. Why is that embarrassing for him? Because he's the same age. Don't get that. Peter, if an insurance company looks at my medical records, they'd laugh me out of the play. Yeah, I've got quite a long list now, actually. I never thought I'd have so many little different things wrong with me. At the moment, it's a bit of a stomach issue, which is continuing to piss me off, to upset me, rather. Sorry, stop swearing, Chris. It is Len. I'm trying. The Lord does not look for perfection. He looks for people that try, and believe me, I'm very trying. Tech Sparky. I was in Bangladesh For 2 weeks, I had insurance, but did not. But I was in Bangladesh. I had insurance, but my did not, and got hit by a tuk-tuk bike. Broken foot, wrist broken, and needed to pay as soon as you got on there. £3,000 in Bangladesh to sort you out. Weird city, we knock it, but we are really so lucky in the UK to have the NHS. I agree. You know. I agree. Roy, I thought the NHS was charging overseas visitors previously. Though they are. If you're on holiday, same as if we go somewhere and the NHS pick you up, they are supposed to charge you. Although I gather a lot of people get away with not paying. Gary Ross, when he was on holiday, ended up seeing one of the duty GPs they had within 10 minutes after he signed the forms. There you go. Scrolling. Where are we? Thank you, Debs. Wedding preparation meet. See, Debs knows me, and I know Debs, right? Some people at church, there's a particular lady called Anne, also known as Scarlett. And 3 times now she's tried to pair me off with someone. The latest one is Debs. She said something to Debs earlier about me. She said to me one day while I was playing the organ, she said, I saw you looking at that girl earlier. What girl? She don't. Some of them don't put 2 and 2 together. It's okay. We can play along. No problem. Jason, the NHS, especially the staff, are fantastic. It's the people running it that's the problem. Also, people abusing the system. Yeah, I kind of go along with that. I think there's too much management in the NHS. This new bloke has mentioned this, hasn't he? Doing away with NHS England. Now, I don't work for the NHS. I have no idea what NHS England does. Presumably, it's some sort of management level and is knocking that on the head to save, is it £3 billion? There's too many people in the NHS who are managers earning tons of money who I think are unnecessary. They can't all be... Okay, some of them are. We need administration staff, don't we? But I just don't believe that all these managers are necessary. Walking around with their bloody clipboards. Oh, no, does he really need a bandage? Yes, he does. The nurse says he does. So Gary was given a week's course in antibiotics. It cleared up in days. I'm pleased to hear that, Gary. Gary, can I just ask, right? Your message is in like 4 or 5 bits. Is that how you've typed it? Or is that just how it is? I don't know why your message come in like 5 bits. And it's really difficult to because the chat box is going on, to pick out your messages. And especially if it's a long story like that. I don't know why it's come in sort of 5 or 6 different places there. Very strange and mysterious there. Jason was in A&E here in the UK 4 weeks ago. Waited nearly 6 hours to be seen for a broken wrist. We've all done that one, Jason. We've all sat in waiting rooms, when midnight and daylight comes around, doesn't it? Oh, dear. I'm pretty sure some of the people in there shouldn't have been putting a strain on the system. Oh yes. When I was doing Liberty Radio in London, I was doing the overnight show, 2 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. And we used to have phone calls coming in, and we used to have a nurse calling in. Can't remember her name now. It's 25 years ago. She'd be really old now, if she's still here, bless her. And she used to tell me, I went down to visit her one day, and she said, "Here, come and look through this window." I said, "Yeah." "You see all these people here?" I said, "Yeah. 3/4 of these shouldn't be here. Cut fingers and sore throats." How can you tell? I know someone like that. He gets a pimple on his arse and he turns up at the bleeding casualty. It's not right. It ain't right. And that's why it's in so much trouble. People just turn up there. Now, to be fair, sometimes it's the fault of the GP because the GP don't want to know. Even when I go, "Oh, give it another couple of weeks. Oh, give it another couple of weeks." Well, this stomach thing's been going on since bleeding December. In various different forms. It's terrible. Terrible. Just trying to see. Anyway, Roy, Amex insurance is included when you use it to book travel. So am I buying travel insurance? Oh, I'll have to have a look at that. Let me make a note of that. Because I always use my card. Well, I get like, I don't know, what is it? Is it 1% we get back on that platinum card? I got a free credit card, don't pay monthly for it, but we do get something ridiculous like 0.5% or 1% back. Well, it can be a little bit of money, mine usually comes in November, money for doing nothing. Always use the card. I didn't know that. Any more on the, anyone else been aboard? No one else going to call in? 02081443477. If you want to talk to me about medical problems abroad. What's your PayPal payment? Oh, that thing. Well, that's if you want to send a tip. You just type that into your address bar. Type that whole thing into your address bar, and you can send us cash. I'm waiting. Come on, boss. Send something now, dear. A really good number usually has 3 digits in it. No, the reason I put that up is because over the past, people have asked, I'd like to send you a tip. So now and again I put that up, and kind people, I never ask for any money, right? But people just like to send a tip. A lot of the YouTube people, some of them are really blatant. Please send this, please send that. You can become a member for $9.99 a month or something like that. I don't want anything like that. I'm okay for money. Don't get me wrong. I'm all right. I'm quite comfortable. Thank you very much. But sometimes people want to send a tip. There are a couple of particular people, Gary and Andy and Vera today, who now and again send, I don't know, $5, $10, something like that. So that's why I sometimes put that up. Okay, if you want to, just type that whole thing into your address bar. You can send us a nice cup of tea or something like that if you want to. Vera says the under 5s and over 6s are priorities at our hospitals. Yeah, I'm not convinced. I think there's an age you go over, and then that's it. They're not bothered about you anymore. I don't know if that's true. I have heard that from people before. Mark, this country is the only place you can get a pizza delivered quicker than an ambulance. How's the old suppository situation? Oh, I finished them, Mark. I've finished the suppositories. There's no pain anymore. When that first popped out, oh my God, the pain. I wanted to go to casualty, actually. I actually wanted to go there. But my sister advised cold peas, which I pushed up one at a time. No, I didn't. So I put a few peas in a plastic bag, covered it in a tea towel and shoved that up there or near it. That did help a lot. Write that down, boys and girls. You might want to help there. Vera says her bank covers her travel insurance. Well, mine used to, but they withdrew that. I don't know why. They withdrew it. Peter, can I read that? Yeah, I'll read it. Peter says, I can always tell when my neighbour's PIP assessment is due. The ambulance is outside her house every other day. What do you mean peas or sprouts, Roy? How rude. Peas. Large peas, to be fair. Evening to Tommy. Welcome along to the show, Tommy. Hello to you, all right? Blimey, it's nearly 7:30, hasn't it? Got so quick. Anyone else who wants to call in about that subject? Ever had experience of any sort of medical thing while you've been abroad? I have once. I was on an island, Norfolk Island, which is kind of in between Australia and New Zealand, and I was getting a really bad throbbing on my leg, Mark, leg. Oh, what is wrong with your mind? And it was kind of down my it was below the knee in that muscle, really nasty throbbing, and it went on for a while. The only relief I could get, because it was constant, the only relief I could get was to stand on it. Well, you can't sleep standing up, can you? Oh, mind you, the manager of Central Station does. The bloke who owns that, Duncan, his name, best manager ever, I tell you. Such a nice man. He's well into his 70s. I think he's late 70s now. And he used to fall asleep at the bar with a pint in his hand. Seriously. I could tell you a story. Is it? Yeah, he'd find it funny. He's a Scottish bloke, he is, and he's a lovely man. Anyway, and the bar staff once had helped him upstairs to one of the rooms, and he tripped over, fell over on the stairs, and his teeth shot out of his head. Poor Martin. Oh, it's poor Duncan. He was a lovely man, though. Anyway. So I'm on Norfolk Island. This went on for a while. And my cousin was running the police at the time on the island. It's a very small place. A force of about 8 or 10 people, I think, it was underneath him. And I said, look, I think I need to go to a doctor's or something, Okay, go to the hospital. Okay, so I went to the hospital. Did I make an appointment? Can't remember if I made an appointment or just turned up there, but I went up there, and I went in there, $75 this cost me, which I thought was fair, $75. Yeah, we can be having some of that. I went to the hospital, what seems to be the problem? I said, yeah, I've got this pain in my leg and it's throbbing. Okay. It was an old lady, it was. She wasn't particularly young. And she says, okay. And then she sat down and said, have a sit down. What do you think it is? And I'm thinking, why have you asked me what? That's what I'm paying you $75 bleeding dollars for. I said, well, I thought it might be that deep vein thrombosis. She said, no, I can tell you now it's not that. Okay. She said, I think you've got a bit of sciatica there. And I can't remember. I don't think there was any treatment other than offering me painkillers, which I very, very, very rarely take. The only time I've taken painkillers in the last 25 years was when I had the dislocated shoulder, and that was gas, which, to be fair, worked. The problem is, the moment you stop sucking at this gas, it's back again with a vengeance, and you can't have it constantly. You can have it for a period of time, and then so you can't have any more of that now. Oh, and then the pain comes back, so it was a bit pointless, really. And morphine I had on the tongue, I don't think that did anything, the morphine. And I had 2 lots of that. That's both while I was in the hospital waiting to see a doctor. So I've not had that. But that was really my only experience of, I don't think I've ever seen a doctor in any other country other than that particular time. And this sciatica, it went on for a few weeks and it just stopped. It just stopped and it's come back minorly once or twice since then, but nothing like what it did on this particular day. And I don't think there was anything she could do for it, actually, when I think about it. Funny, isn't it, really? Oh, dear. Well, what's going on here? Oh, here we are. Look, this is on TikTok. Your live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Hate speech and hateful behaviours. Where is the hate speech? Is anyone watching this on TikTok? I mean, how stupid can you be? We'll be knocked off on this shortly, I'm sure. Thank you, Gary. Has sent me a heart. Thank you, Gary. Where's Matil? Matil opening. Where's Matil? There it is. Thank you, Gary. Sending me a heart on TikTok there. Tommy, how can you not take headache tablets with that brother-in-law, Chris? Tommy, oh, you are awful, dear. Let's have a look. I'm very lucky I don't get headaches. Extremely rare. We are talking less than one every few years. And what I don't get that either anymore. I used to get ocular migraines. So if I'm looking at you now, right, and it's perfectly all right at the moment, I would get like a shimmering, like a line of shimmering lights in my eyes. Both eyes, don't matter what one you closed, it would still be there. And I got that for a while. I worked out myself, it's whenever I was really tired, it would come on, and that would last anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes, and then it would just go. I spoke to the doctor about that. He said, no, nothing wrong with that there. Let's have a look there. Glenda says, is it true those in the UK pay 50% of their wage in taxes? Depends how much you earn, Glenda. I don't. I think I'm on I'm on the low one, whatever that is. Is it 24%? Something like that? A lot of people, for some reason, everyone thinks I'm on the large 40%, but I'm not. Believe it or not, I don't earn huge amounts of money. I do all right. I'm comfortable. I'm careful with my money and always have been, you know. But I'm not on the 40% tax bracket. In fact, funnily enough, I asked my accountant something the other day because it's going to take a little bit of money out of the pension for a new car. But I've decided not to do that now and to just carry on with the PCP type thing rather than buying one. And he said there's not a lot you could do to make your tax go up to 40%. He said, I don't think there's anything you can do. You've got nothing to worry about, you know. So, no. Some people pay more than others. It depends how much you earn, Glenda. I don't know how it works in the States. Do you all pay the same sort of rate there, maybe? Where do we get to? Tech. We got insurance for me and my wife, and it cost me £100 for the year. Gosh. But due to wife is epileptic, as to be updated, it cost me about £155 a year. So that's gone up. Well, that's cheap. What, for the whole year? To go abroad? Well, why is mine nearly 400? Blimey, I must be almost there. Almost in the box. Chatting to each other there. Okay. Yeah, that's right, Vera. Glenda, we get the first £12,500 we get tax-free as well. I mean, be honest with you, Glenda, some people on benefits are better off than those who are not. There was this whole thing on the radio the other night. And someone had rung in and said it's not true about people who are on benefits having really flash cars. And I'm thinking, oh, yes, it is, because I've seen it. What happens, I gather, if you're on some sort of benefits and you're entitled to a car, you can have a car, a basic car, but if you want something better, you just pay yourself for a better car. And that's how there are people on benefits driving around in BMWs and really nice cars. You know, that is actually true. I'm just trying to keep up here. Is your PayPal profile a picture of you with a cup in your hand? That is correct, Bosh. That is correct. It certainly is. Oh, he sent me something. Hang on. Is it Carl? Is that your name? What's he sent me? Let's have a quick look. It's got to be at least £2,000. £2,000. Hang on a minute. Transaction. Test payment. Oh, don't say 41 pence. Thank you, Carl. Beggars can't be choosers, lovey. 41 pence. Carl has sent me 41 pence, everyone. Thank you. Any advance on 41? Come on. Send it in. Let's put that back up there. 41 pence so far. Come on. Do you want me to do like the young lads on TikTok and take my top off? Come and tap the screen. Tap, tap, tap the screen. Keep tapping the screen. Please tap the screen. Send money. Send gifts. Thank you. Oh, they're awful on there. Roy, the amount of tax I pay is criminal, real extortion for zero benefit. I am private medical, no drain of resources. Yeah, Roy pays the doctor himself. He don't use the NHS. He gets something wrong, he goes and pays someone. I'll be honest, you know, I'm going to try the doctor one more time with his stomach. You see, I just don't know when to go in, when to send him another message. I just don't know when to send him another message. You know, give it another couple of weeks. So this week it will be 3 weeks. And he's basically said the same thing to me each time. It's and you know what I think if I had to pay the doctor 25 quid, 50 quid, 75 every time I see him, I think I'd be happier. I wouldn't feel so guilty about sending them messages. It's because it's free, I think. And you remember once I saw a doctor about 3 visits ago when I had that awful cough, and there's a minor cough going on there. No, I've had this for 3.5 weeks. This minor cough. You haven't heard me cough much today, but there's certainly a bit of crap coming up in the morning now. And I want to go to him for that. And then I think, last time I did it, he did a thorough examination, sat me down and said, do I worry? And I said, not really, but I am at the moment because this has gone on so wrong. And he said, I can't find anything wrong with you. I think it's all you're worrying yourself into. Now I don't want to go anymore. I do have an alternative route where I do go and see a specialist doctor, and it's him again, but that's not until May. I mean, do I hang on till then? And then I can tell him, I don't like to bother him. He does a certain thing, he looks after, it's a blood thing. He looks after my blood there, right? But, there has been occasions and I've got nowhere with my doctor and he's got me in there with colonoscopies and chest things going on. So I can use that route, but it's like, I'm in weeks away. Yeah, Vera says you've paid into the system. Don't feel guilty about calling them. But I do. I know, Peter. I know we all pay for it. But, I must have been like 4 or 5 times last year. They must think, oh, God, it's him again. I'm embarrassed. Last time I went, no, not last time, the time before, lovely doctor. Or he might have been a paramedic, actually, at the healthcare centre, not the main doctors. So they send you there when they think there's something that needs to be dealt with straight away. And I said, after the visit, and he was a lovely man, I said, look, I know this sounds stupid. I'm not on the frequent flyer list or anything, am I? He said, no, you're not on that. I said, please, I really don't want to be on this. I hate coming to see you. He said, don't worry, I'm not going to put you on that. Anyway, there we are. Gary. Oh, let's have a look, Gary. Mark says, I'll give you a tip. No, stop it, Mark. You do get me very excited sometimes. Can we have a decent picture of you standing there in a tracksuit, possibly with no top on? I know that you don't go to the gym, but that's okay. Don't need muscle men round here, thank you very much. Just someone ordinary, like yourself, Gary, I can only write so many words in a chat box at once. Thank you. Now I understand. I thought that was the case. Thank you. Oh, hang on. He sent me more PayPal. I'll wait for that to pop up on my screen. What's he said? I'm very, very excited now. Maybe I can use your PayPal. Oh, hang on. Let me get rid of that. Maybe I can use your PayPal as a deposit on the new car. Is it that much? Is it? Tech Sparky, my cough has now been 3 years now. Nighttime is bad. On a nebulizer, they help, don't they? Those nebulizers, yeah, and meds at night. But my doctor's has done all tests, but still nothing. But he said it's long COVID. Oh, I wonder if it was that. I wonder if it was that. I don't know. Okay. What's the time? 17 to 8. How long ago did you give up smoking? We're still on the health thing, aren't we, tonight? And how did you do it? Perhaps you did that. You want to call in about that? I'll leave the phone open for that. You see why I'm kind of thinking there's not much point in having a phone, really. I don't think there's much point in keeping the number going at all. It's so rare that we get a call. But you can call in about that or send your messages up there again. Excuse me. How long ago did you give up smoking and how did you do it? Evening to Natalie. Joining us there. Hello to you. Weird City. 10 years cold turkey. Well done. I smoked. I smoked a lot, actually. I started at about 15 when I was in the Scouts. And I gave up at about 26. So not much at 15. It was the old John Player Blue. John Player Blue in the Scouts. And other Scouts used to smoke, so I did as well. I gave up at about 25, 26. My wife used to smoke as well. I tried to give up a couple of times and I went back on it. And then I gave up and then that was the end of that. But the worst place I smoked was when I was DJing. I'd have one after the other while I was DJing over the period of 4 years. It was about 10 fags a night or something like that. It was a lot. Really. When I think about it. Then I just completely stopped. I just didn't want yellow ceilings. Why did I stop? I tell you why I stopped. Wasn't the money. We lived in Roehampton in some masonettes, and you had to go up 2 flights of stairs. I got up 1 flight of stairs at the age of 25, and I thought, this ain't right. Like that I was, and that's why I gave up, for health reasons. I gather most of the crap comes out your lungs fairly quickly, within a couple of weeks, and then over a period of time, your risk of getting smoking-related diseases goes down and down and down. They say after so many years, and I'm way past those years, you now have the same level of getting one of those sort of diseases. I don't like the word. I'm not going to say it. I don't like the word at all. One of those sort of diseases, you're at the same level. I would imagine you never get right back down to that exact level, but you're pretty close to it. So I'm kind of happy. But that's probably the best thing I've ever did, give up smoking. That and divorced. Yeah. I can smell a cigarette a mile off now. I really can. And I didn't really owe any help. No patches, nothing like that. We didn't have vapes in those days, so we didn't have anything like that. I personally think the vapes are a little bit dodgy as well, to be honest. I really do. I don't think they're particularly good for people. We just haven't had them long enough yet to see problems. Although I have seen stories about people with funguses growing in their lungs because of the moisture that people are breathing in from these various flavoured things. Weird City, 10 years cold turkey. He just gave up. That was it. Well done. Mandy gave up smoking 12 years ago. She just stopped, the same as me. I think, to be honest, Mandy, it's not a time necessarily when there's anything going on in your life. You just have to keep trying, and then you hit the right day. Do you know what I mean? You just hit the right day, and that's how I did it anyway. That's how I did it. Weird City, my gran smoked raffles. You could poll vote with those things. I've heard of that, raffles. Evening, Natalie. I've heard of that, raffles. Were they the coloured ones? What were the coloured cigarettes? So you opened the box, there was all these different colours. Yellow, green, red. What were they called? Anyone know what they were called? Were they called cocktail cigarettes, maybe? Something like that. Built in Scotland, seems to smoke more when I'm driving. Yeah, and that's the other time I smoked a lot, actually, Mick, was when I was working for BT. Yeah, and I had my little van going around. A great job. What a great job that was. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I wasn't actually very good at it. But I just like going around talking from house to house to the people. I mean, I could do the simple jobs like change the microphone in the receiver. You know, but when it comes to, there was something called a Plan 107 or Plan 104A or something like that, which involved a bit of wiring and extensions of. It's not like that now. It's much easier now. That being said, of course, all those phones are going off, and we're all getting internet phones, aren't we? They're all going off soon. You know, but so I do a job and then be in the van, light up straight away. Must have a fag before the next job because I don't know how long the next job's going to take. It might only take 3 minutes. Might be the case of putting a card in the door. I was very good at doing that. Oh, yes. Chris Redden was very good at putting the card in the door and running back down to the van. Well, you see, that was worth half an hour, that was, dear. Half an hour putting a card in the door. Yes. Royce chain smokes when he's driving. Yeah, I think that's something to do with smoking and driving, to be honest. Sparky, the only time I smoked is when the girls are doing the garden work and housework. Vera says, I bet the divorce was easier. Oh, yes, much easier. Mandy started, she was 12 and stopped at 42. Gosh, 12, that's early, isn't it? Jason has never smoked. Gave up drinking 14 months ago, but still skint. The money just disappears, dear. It just disappears. Were they cocktail cigarettes? Is that what they were called? Sobrani cocktails. Is that what they were called? Hang on, let me type that in. Sobrani Cocktails. Images. There, that's them. That's them. That's in Deborah. All different colours they were, weren't they? Yeah, and they come in a nice little pretty box. Very tempting for children, I suppose. Oh, you remember those children's cigarettes? They were sweets, weren't they? Long sweets. And the end was coloured. We used to walk around, 8 years old, pretending to smoke. Oh, there's a person. There's a person at my utility room entrance. Ooh. Looks like a moth or a spider to me. Here, do you want to see it? Hang on, let me just... Oh, it's a spider! Here, look at this. Evilness. Hang on a minute. Let me just... Can you see it? In the top corner. Hang on, I'll do it again. Oh! Oh! There's a spider outside in my utility... It thinks that's a person. What a stupid camera. I can hear it making a noise. Bleeding spider outside. Building a new home. Well, that'll be gone by the time I finish before I go up to the gym. Thank you very much. Weird City. Remember them all. Long, thin and black. I think Kojak smoked them. Da 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 da. We used to love Kojak on a Saturday night. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock Saturday night after either Angels or the Duchess of Duke Street. How good is that memory? Huh? Or Colditz. Do you remember Colditz? Da-da, da, da-da-da, 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 da-da. Oh, that music. The music. Happy days. Watching the telly with my mum and dad on a Saturday night. Isn't it? Camel cigarettes are the worst ever, says Vera. I'd never tried those. Never tried those. Sparky, we got no normal landlines in Cornwall. They've gone over to digital networks, but it's not reliable. Oh, that's interesting. So they've already switched you off there. Gosh. Blimey, you must have been first people to be switched off, was it? I presume. There you go. Lines are now closed. Boo! Please don't call in. You will still be charged, and your call will not count. Evening, Roy Magic. Spider-Man. ETS on your clothes, and is that everyone there? Mark says it's not me at your entrance. How disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Where? Oh, by the way, send me your address, Mark, so I can send you a set of keys. Anytime you want to come round, just let yourself in, my love. Have something to eat, because you'll need all the strength you can. Right, let's... okay, right, we've done that. What's the time? 7 minutes? Ooh, can we get another story in? Very quickly, then. Very quickly, let's do... We're not going to do the weight loss one. We won't do the weight loss one, because that was going to be a bit old. Let me just delete that. Okay. All this technology we've got. Mobile phones. Computer games. Various... gadgets and gizmos, all these things, all that the kids have got now. The kids have got now. If we had all the gadgets we've got now in the 70s, what would you have missed out on? So there would be, instead of what did you do in the 70s as a child to entertain yourselves? I'm thinking here, a great answer from Roy there, the red box and the pips, the red phone box. So you go in a phone box, you've got to be old, over 40 to get this. Oh, hang on, let me have a look at my list. That's most of you there. Okay. The red phone box. So you'd open the door, go in, pick up the receiver, dial your... No push buttons. Dial your number. And before you dialed that number, you had a 2p or a 10p sitting in one of the slots or both of them. Ready. And we'll dial out the number. 020 788 2561. It's my old number. Old phone number, right? Right. Oh, don't ring that because I don't know who's on here. Don't ring that and say, is Chris there? Please do not do that. Because that's someone else's number now. I wish I'd never read that out. Anyway, it's gone now. Okay? So I do. And it would go beep, 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 beep. And then you'd force your 2 pence or 10 pence into the slot. Beep, beep, beep. Hello, Mum. It's only me. What time's dinner ready? They will never experience. And it was exciting to use a phone, wasn't it? When that phone used to ring at your house, right? They won't experience a phone ringing at their house anymore and not knowing who it is. You know who it is. The number comes up. Roy says if we had all these gadgets that we've got now, we wouldn't have read a book or watched the TV. Do you know how many people don't watch normal TV? My sister and brother-in-law are 2 of them. They don't watch normal TV. Hello to Cosmic. I didn't see you there. Hello, Cosmic. Evening, Jack. You're all very late there. Gosh, we're nearly finished now. Roy says the TV is rubbish now. Bosch has never smoked. His dad used to smoke those Camel cigarettes as well. Did he really? Gosh. Anyway, later. There we are. I'm thinking we wouldn't... Roy, we wouldn't have needed encyclopedias. Anyone collect those? Encyclopedia Britannia or something like that, wasn't it? You right, Tommy? On a bike. Do you see many kids on bikes? I don't. I see a few. Not many. Sad, really, isn't it? Going over the common and playing cricket and stuff like that. Anyway, that spider's spinning its web. It keeps setting off my bleeding camera. I'm going to have to deal with that now. Just before we go, let's just do this. Why is there a red thing there? I don't know. That's there. That's there. Activity. There it is. Activity. Come on now. Where it is. I was just seeing. Okay, yep, that's done. All right, gang. I'm with you again tomorrow morning doing my little radio show. There it is if you want to join us. There you go. Okay. Starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 till 10 o'clock. Go to reachonair.com on the computer. There's a little box there. Click play and you can listen there. Or you can use your smart speaker. Or download Twitch completely free of charge. And then once you've got your free account there, just type in my name, Chris Reardon UK. All right. And you'll be able to watch on Twitch or TikTok if it's working now. Okay. All right. Thanks very much for joining us today. I think I'm with you next week, am I? Oh, yes. The clocks are changing next Sunday. And I've made sure that I'm not doing the organ that day because I will lose an hour's sleep. It's poor Sheila. She'll have to deal with it. Have a nice evening, gang, and I'll see you again very soon. Thank you very much for those of you joining in and viewing us. And thank you very much, Jack. Look at that. Jack has sent me a £5 tip just before I go. I'm sorry, Jack, I've got to go. Go over on YouTube now to The Butler's Empire. Their show starts in a minute and a half, okay? So enjoy those on there. See you next Sunday, just after 6 o'clock. Bye-bye now.